Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our special Friday live session, our live training. Here we go. And thank you so much for being here. It has been an amazingly crazy and insane day, although it's been that way all week, so it seems. Hope everybody is doing well, and I hope you've had a chance to watch episode 15 of the Bolo Search series, how to turn $1,000 into $100,000. I want to start off by talking about that specific video and how it can apply to everyone in our Internet Mastery community. So we have a lot of very experienced Amazon sellers in this amazing group, right? We have people that have sold 100,000, 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, and more. And so here we at the same time have a group of brand new Amazon sellers just getting their feet wet, just planting their feet into the ground and starting off on this journey. And it's always exciting when we have new people who interact with more experienced people. And I want to share just a couple of ideas and thoughts with you for everybody. So as I watch the questions that are posted in the Facebook group, there still continues to be this overwhelmingly interested, concerted effort from people to discover how to find product to sell. And that's always been the case. I've been doing this now more than 20 years. And from all the way back in the eBay days, up until today's current present time, it seems like the number one skill that needs to be learned is not shipping, it's not listing items, it's figuring out what to sell. And I think it's important, if you've not subscribed to the newsletter, the most recent issue of the newsletter had an incredible article from Coach Eileen. And I love her story. I love what she shared with everyone. But my biggest takeaway is that the newest people who are in Internet Mastery for the last, let's say, 15 months have no idea what it was like to find product to sell on Amazon before that time frame. In other words, the Bolo opportunity that we all have now, that I think a lot of people actually take for granted, never existed before. So we have people that have sold millions of dollars on Amazon that never had an opportunity like this Bolo opportunity that we have here today. And it's a reminder, finding items to sell on Amazon is not exclusively just those Bolo deals. There are plenty of ways to find product the old-fashioned way. Just look them up and check to see what's selling and what's not and go through that process. And I understand that in the beginning, it may feel like it's a daunting task. And guess what? It is. I never said it would take 5 minutes to product source. I said it would take hours and hours and hours. In fact, one of the things that I mentioned is that in many cases, you could go through 50, 60, 70 items before you find a good one. But there's a piece missing there. That assumes you're looking at the right items to find a good one. I saw a post this week, again, great info that I gleaned from the Facebook group. And somebody said, with an awesome attitude, that they haven't found a whole lot yet, that 95% of their Bolo deals are gated, but they are reverse engineering and going through that process. One of the things that we have to remember, whether we're brand new or we've been doing this a long time, is that we all must adhere to Amazon's policies, to Amazon's changes, to Amazon's updates. Now, by being part of this community, you get the benefit of knowing all those before 99% of all the other sellers in the world. But that doesn't mean we're not subject to those changes. So as a quick reminder, Amazon has this process now of how you get ungated. And it will always feel for a new seller like everything is restricted. Because now the way that Amazon allows people to sell certain items is based upon the performance history of their account. Let me give you a perfect example. In Bolo episode 15 and all of the episodes moving forward, I'm going to film those episodes from within a student's account. No, I'm not going to tell you which student it is, but I can tell you that I picked an account from a student who's constantly saying that none of the deals are good, that they're having a hard time, that they're really working it but are struggling. And I went into their account and I made that Bolo video. So if you watched it, you'll know there were some really, really good deals there. So how is it possible that I see a good deal, but a new person sees it as not such a good deal? Well, number one, I know what I'm looking for, and a new person is still making their way through the forest to get to the trees. And the second reason is, and I saw this firsthand, when I went to list one of the items in that user's account, it was restricted and you needed to apply to sell. But when I looked at it in my account, it was not restricted. No, I've never listed that item before. I've never sold that item before. So why in my account would I be allowed to sell it, but a new seller would not? Because this is how we work through Amazon's process. So the more you sell, the better your performance. The better your performance, the more you will be allowed to sell. The second thing that I want to mention is that there are only three options when you click the Apply to Sell button. The first one is that Amazon's going to ask you for invoices, which you do not have because you can't use retail invoices to get Ungated. You all know that. The second option is to watch the, let's delete that. The second option is to watch a video, answer some questions, you'll instantly be approved. And the third option is you're instantly approved. Now, this is literally the only three options that can happen when you make that effort to apply to sell. Now, remember, there are certain categories you simply cannot apply to sell in that don't require invoices. So I want you to understand that if you're looking at shoes, if you're looking at clothing, if you're looking at jewelry, those are all restricted categories. Beauty is an open category. It used to be restricted for a very long time. It's an open category, but has a higher percentage of brand restriction. So I share all of this with you, not to help you get ungated, but to help you not be frustrated. And I think, again, you've all heard me say this over and over and over again. A new baby out the womb doesn't walk. It just doesn't. No matter how much it tries to roll over or sit up, it will not walk in its first 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 months, maybe start to get up and fall down and walk the earliest, maybe around 7 months. So why am I sharing that with you? Because no one who understands natural human evolution is going to have a baby for 6 weeks, it not walk, and you quit or give the baby back. So I don't want to be a parent anymore. This is too hard. When you understand, just go easy on yourself. You find some, you don't find some. You find it as fast as you want. You find it faster you want. You don't find it as fast. Please understand, we have people in this Internet Mastery community that started 7 weeks ago. Rashida Williams. She started 7 weeks ago. She has sold $7,000 on Amazon. We have people who started 7 weeks ago that have 2 items listed on Amazon. There's not a comparison, there's not a competition, and there's not a race. Everyone goes at their own pace. It's not the tools, it's not the Bolo deals, it's not even watching the videos. It's just learning the process. And everyone works and learns at different paces, and everyone walks at different places in their life. Now, I know Rashida's coming to Las Vegas in August. I'm going to guess, I have not met her yet, but I'm going to guess she's human. She bleeds like everyone else. She laughs like everyone else. She cries like everyone else. She's human. She makes mistakes. It happens. But understand that whether you are just starting out or whether you've been doing this for a year or 2 or 3, that moving forward process is a common denominator. I also think it's really important to set the goal of making sure you are listing at least 1 to 3 items every day. I had an interesting conversation with someone earlier who said, I don't understand, if I list the item, how long do I have before I buy it to send it in? There's no time frame. You never have to buy it. It doesn't cost anything to list it. It doesn't hurt to just apply to sell, apply to sell, and apply to sell. Now, let me give you all just a big concept, a big idea. Would you like to get ungated all the time? The majority of the time. Maybe not all the time, but the majority of the time. It's very simple. It's not a complex business. It's very simple. You attend a trade show like ASD in Las Vegas. You buy from wholesale vendors, and then you use those wholesale invoices to get ungated. I want you to just think for a minute. Every time you click that apply to sell button and you do not get approved, what do they ask you for? They ask you for wholesale invoices. They actually ask you for invoices. They don't call them wholesale, but that's what they are. They're wholesale invoices. So if you're buying wholesale, then you will get ungated far more often than when you're looking to get ungated retail. When you go to the trade show and you meet some of the vendors, you'll even be able to get ungated for brands. There are lots and lots of brands who will provide you with invoices and give you that opportunity to sell on Amazon. Now, that's a whole other conversation of the money to buy wholesale and the understanding of what to get from the wholesaler and the negotiating and all of those things. A lot of you know that we have an event in March. I'm not trying to get you to come to the event. I just want you to understand why these events are so powerful. The event in March, on March 9th, that event is a one-day event right before the ASD trade show in March. Now, if I'm brand new and I've been doing this for 6 weeks and I'm on a budget, I wouldn't go to that trade show. I'm just telling you, stay home. Put your money into inventory. Why? Because March is not the ideal time to place your first wholesale orders. You have to buy in bulk. You're not going to sell a whole lot in April and May and June to get rid of or liquidate all that inventory. Whereas when you go to the ASD trade show in August, especially this year is the best it's ever been. You place your orders, they show up at the prep center, and then they're at Amazon for Q4. This is how people grow their business. Before I forget to come back to this, yesterday we had a huge pallet show up at the prep center. For those of you that do retail arbitrage and are prepping from home and not using the prep center for whatever the reason, just know what's coming when you expand your business and get into wholesale. Big pallets, 300 pounds, 500 pounds, 700 items that need pallet jacks and forklifts that need to come off a big truck. This is a totally different business when you're on the wholesale side. So if you understand that when I say to you, folks, get your freaking ticket and come to Las Vegas in August, it's not because I need you to buy a ticket. I already am going to be there. If you come, I'll see you there. If you don't come, I won't see you there. But guess what? I'll already be there. And so we spend 2.5 days predominantly talking about wholesale, trade show, how to use Wholesale Analyzer, how to negotiate with wholesalers. And then we leave the trade show, and especially for our inner circle members, we walk you through the trade show. We help you find vendors. We help you negotiate so that you leave with a totally different version or vision of this business. So I get it that when you're new, and even when you're not so new, you're still struggling with getting ungated and finding the retail deals. The retail arbitrage is not the hardest, not the easiest. It just is what it is. But when you're ready to remove that level of frustration, there's a lot to buying wholesale. Believe me, I'm not minimizing it. If I had a choice and you had more money than many of you do when you're starting, I would start you all on wholesale. But many of you are starting on a smaller budget. And therefore, retail arbitrage or online arbitrage is your only option. It's way better to start that way. Look, if you were in Miami or watched the Miami event, you got a chance to meet Tanner. Tanner and his dad have sold more than $1 million on Amazon, all arbitrage from retailers. I don't want to hear an excuse about how hard it is. They started long before there was anything called BOLO deals or repricer. So the opportunity now is so real. The question is how you want to grow it. I talked to somebody yesterday and I said, I don't know, maybe I just was tired. They said to me, but I don't think so, because I think this is what I always say. I said, are you going to meet us in Miami? Miami. If I say Miami one more time, I was in Miami this morning. I'll come back to that in a minute. So I was talking to this person. I said, are you coming to Las Vegas? They said, yes. I said, great. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Do you have your ticket yet? Oh, no. I don't have my ticket yet. Well, then don't tell me you're coming, please. Tell me you're not coming. And then when you get your ticket, tell me you're coming. If you got a ticket, you're coming. If you don't got a ticket, it's a hope that you come. It's a thought that you come. It's a prayer that you come. It's wishful thinking. You want to get your ticket now. You want to get your flight now. And don't worry, when we reserve our hotel, there'll be plenty of space. Las Vegas hotels are not filling up. They are not full for August. But the best part of this ASD trade show combined with Internet Mastery Live this year is that the event is August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Last year, it was the last week of August, third and a half to last week of August. So we have 3 extra weeks to prepare for the fourth quarter. And by the way, this year, there will also be an Amazon Prime Day in October. So starting earlier in August is going to be just an unbelievable experience. You know, Susan and Mark Lees, and I'm just quoting the numbers now, so I could be off by a few dollars here or there. Looking forward to seeing you, by the way, Susan and Mark, on Tuesday at our office for our roundtable day. That's going to be a lot of fun. Our roundtable day? Yeah, I think on Tuesday. It's going to be awesome. I hope it's Tuesday because that's the day that's in my calendar. Anyway, they started October of 2022. And by August, middle of August, end of August of 2023, they'd sold about $100,000 on Amazon, all retail arbitrage, okay? Their first 9 months, all retail arbitrage, all prep center, mostly BOLO deals, about $100,000 in 9 months. Why am I telling you that? Why does that matter? Because since attending InternetMastery.live in Las Vegas in September, October, November, December, January, 5 months, they've sold almost $150,000. In other words, it took them 9 months to get to $100,000. They've sold $150,000 in the last 5 months. Do you understand what I'm talking about here? There's a catalytic concept of growth that comes from participating in events like this. You just see everything bigger. And then from there, to be able to go straight into the ASD trade show eliminates all that headache and hassle that so many of you are dealing with when it comes to the invoices. Now, one of the things I want you to just think about is a big picture. The long-term approach, not where we are today, but the long-term approach is Amazon would love to be out of the retail arbitrage business. Amazon would love to be in the business of their sellers buying from wholesale vendors and suppliers and sending those items to Amazon and creating their own brands. Amazon really wants sellers having their own brand. So that's what I wanted to share with you about that. I got one more topic I want to talk about. And then I'll tell you about another topic that I want to talk about. But one more important one. I see a lot of people who get these emails about Amazon wanting you to lower your price. I don't know if you all know this or not, but we answer this question in Facebook at least 5 times every week. So that's number one. Number two, there's a video that I created on that specific topic. That's in the eLibrary. And number three, I want you to understand where that's coming from. Amazon wants, and it's not possible. The majority of the time, it's not possible. But ideally, Amazon wants the pricing on Amazon to be the lowest on the internet. Now, that doesn't mean the sale price or anything like that, just a regular pricing. Amazon wants it to be the lowest possible. So what happens is when you see items on Amazon that don't have a buy box, but there's 10 sellers, when you get a notification saying that your pricing is too high, that's because Amazon knows how much the other people are selling it for across the internet. And Amazon, it's not that your price is too high on Amazon, it's that your price is too high on Amazon compared to what people can buy it outside of Amazon. That's why you're getting those messages. Now, listen to me. I fully understand the frustration of those messages, but I just want to make you aware of something. And this is just a business decision. So again, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just making some suggestions for you, okay? And then you decide how you want to run your business. Let's say that you bought an item for $20 and you list that item on Amazon for $40. And then you get a notification from Amazon that says your price is not only way too high, but we recommend you sell this item for $20. Now, you have a choice to make. You're not required to lower your price at all. But what you might want to do is set the minimum in the repricer to the number that Amazon gives you. Now you say, well, hang on, Adam, that means I'm going to sell some for a loss. It's possible you will. But think about it this way. If your price is 40 and Amazon's telling you to sell it for 20, you're never going to sell any at 40. You understand that, right? Your Amazon inventory will sit there and then you'll end up paying Amazon fees for storage. We don't want that. Second of all, if we're running a real business, then we have to understand that sometimes items need to be liquidated. So for example, if you owned a clothing store, a shoe store, and you had it all in the retail space, well, there's always end of season closeouts. You've all been in stores where it says 70, 80, 90% off. They're not making money on those things. They're blowing out their excess inventory so that they can recoup their money to buy better inventory moving forward. But the big thing that I want you to understand is that when you set your minimum price at the number that Amazon suggests, you're not going to sell them all at that price. Maybe you do, but you're probably not, because the repricer lowers you to that number and then slowly starts to move you back up. Most of the people use the repricer properly, sell the item for more, not less than what they expected, and certainly way better than their minimums. But again, if you're in this business and you're never expecting to take a loss, or everything's got to be sold for a profit, you're going to have frustration. Not everything is sold for a profit. Let me just give you one other idea. If you bought $500 worth of inventory and it sat there for a month or 2 or 3 months before it sells, that money is not making you any money. If you have a dud, we all have winners and we all have duds. If you have a dud that costs you $500 and you liquidate it for $500, and then after all the fees, you get $450. Number one, you lost $50. Number two, that's a tax deduction. Number three, you immediately get your $450 back, and then you can go buy more inventory. Sometimes it's better to take a little bit of a loss. This is just business sense, and then move forward. But if you're not constantly sending inventory to Amazon, it's going to be really hard to get your business rolling. This morning, I was in Miami, where I went to pick up labels. I'm launching a new brand called Board Nutrition. And our goal in our brand, this particular brand, is to launch one new product every month. So 12 months from now, I want to have 12 best-selling supplements. Is it possible that one that I buy is going to be a dud? I hope not. But the chance of me picking 12 consecutive winners in a row would lead me to a casino or a racetrack. Nobody picks 12 winners in a row without a loser. Now, maybe I'll break that mold. I'll be very happy to do that. So this morning, I drove to Miami. It's about an hour drive. I took my wife to the dentist. But while I was in Miami, I went over to our label manufacturer. We have an unbelievable company that makes our labels. And I decided that for this particular product, I was going to invest a tremendous amount of money in the marketing, the branding, and in just the product itself. So the labels are all 3D hologram. I mean, I've never seen a supplement with a holographic 3D label. It's just insane. So I picked up the labels, drove about an hour and a half south to go get the labels. Then I drove an hour and a half back north. While I was on the way, I stopped and took a little blood test. And then I got home, dropped my wife off, and then I drove an hour north to West Palm Beach where the supplement is made to meet up with the team and give them all the labels, pick up the product and bring it back here to where I am. And then on Monday, that will then get sent off to Amazon for FBA. In the meantime, it'll be available over the weekend via FBM. So here I've got a product that I've invested thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in, and I haven't sold one. Thousands. I'm going to repeat that. That's with an S at the end. Not 1,000, but thousands and thousands of dollars in between the graphic designers, between the research, between the doctor, between the cost of the ingredients and the bottles and the capsules and the labels, and I haven't sold one yet. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run some sponsored advertising on Amazon and spend a few $1,000s on advertising and lose money on every bottle that I sell. I want to repeat what I just said so you hear me talking about what I'm doing. I'm going to lose money on every one of these that I sell initially. Why is that? I'm going to have a discount coupon code. I'm going to have advertising. Why am I going to lose money? Because I want to get the product out there. I am so convicted in how good the product is that I'm confident that the people who buy it will buy it over and over and over again. And if we understand that we're in this for the long run, my goal is simple. I'll tell it to you. We're right here together. Here's my goal. My goal is to take this brand to $5 million a year on Amazon and then sell the business, the brand in this business for $25 million. That's my goal. And I love when people tell me that that's unrealistic. Not any of you, but just other people out there. They're like, that's not possible. I'm like, thank you for sharing. How are you doing? It's never the people that are all the way up here that are telling you that you can't do it, by the way. And so that's what my day was like today. I spent all day focused on this one thing to get this one product launched. We have one product going live on Amazon this weekend. We have another product next weekend going live. We have another one next week after that. So we'll have 3 products in 3 weeks, and then we're going to launch one every month for the next 9 months. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if it is as successful as I think it is. I think it's going to be more successful than that. So with that being said, that's what I wanted to share with you here today on this awesome live session with you. I'm happy to take questions on any subject of any topic, but if you haven't watched Bolo Search 15, you need to watch it. It's quite frankly, between me and you, I thought it was a little boring, but a lot of people have given me awesome feedback. So I really appreciate that very much. All right, let me run through and see what kind of questions we have here on this beautiful Friday. Let's see. Does the automatic eBay lister work yet? It does not. No, it does not. You do not need the automatic eBay lister to work to make Lister AI work. We launched Lister AI in September of last year, and for the last 6 months, we've had hundreds, if not thousands, of tests of items listed on eBay. So it would be really cool when it is. We're still testing. eBay is kind of a train wreck when it comes to working together with them. So the Lister AI works. It just means you can't push a button and auto list it. You just go to eBay, copy the title, copy the description from Lister AI, and it will give you all the information that you need. The same thing with the pictures. Download them, re-upload them. And then once, believe me, nobody wants eBay Lister to eBay Sync to work as much as I do. Maybe as soon as next week, I'll keep you all posted. But thank you for that great question. So let's see. Hello, William. Hey, William. I'm looking forward to seeing you in March, in a few weeks, actually, in Las Vegas. That event's going to be held at the Mirage Hotel and Casino. Which is going to be awesome. And if you're going to be joining us for the dinner that night, it's $149. Just, you can pay cash when you get there. No big deal. Okay, it's going to be a very small group. I think we're going to have somewhere around 18, 19 people there. They won't all be Inner Circle members, so there'll be like a half a dozen, maybe 8 of us at dinner. I mean, it's going to be an awesome mastermind project. So I'm excited about that. When is the schedule for the roundtable coming out? That will be coming out next week. So I will put together the schedule for the monthly calls. And then I've asked Marche to work with me and my calendar to call each of our new roundtable members and schedule your first one-on-one phone call with me. We want to do that first before we get together in person, so I can get an overview and idea of what you need, and I could be prepared as well. So that will be very, very early next week, either Monday or Tuesday. Okay, so good question. Thank you very much. Are we going to have the one-day March event be recorded? Great question. Thank you. We are not. This is a closed event. It is not being broadcast virtually. It is not being recorded. It will be just live for those of you that attend. It's kind of like an AI event. We don't record or stream those. I will say that the event is going to have some wholesale, some internet mastery, and or Amazon, and some AI. So it's a little bit of a hybrid event. It's going to wow you. For everyone who's going to be with us in March, it's going to be one of those, I'm so glad I was there, but your head's going to be swimming. So it's going to be a lot of information overload. Okay, good question. Thank you very much for that. Where can I find the upcoming AI training schedule in Boca? Right now, we only have one event. I think it is the 21st and 22nd of March. It's about half sold out. Quite frankly, I have not even made any attempt to sell any tickets for it, and about half the tickets are sold out. There's a link somewhere in the Facebook group. I'll look for it and I'll repost it so that if you want to join us in Boca, you can get a ticket and you can come hang out with us at the Internet Mastery Global Headquarters, which is awesome. Our team over there is amazing too. All right, let's see. Does anybody else have any other really, really good questions today? Thank you so much. If there's any specific questions you have about anything, please feel free to post them. I'm always here to answer them. Okay? So let's see. If I had $1,000 to spend on my business, do you think it's smart to invest in Bolo Wholesale, Bolo Vendor? Yeah, I do. But first and foremost, make sure you have a ticket to Las Vegas in August. That should be your very first investment. Before your inventory, before anything, that should be your very first investment. And then from there, you can purchase your Bolo Vendor Wholesale. We're going to do another stream of updates on Monday. Everyone who purchased their Bolo Vendor that submitted a plan, that inventory is already gone to Amazon. So that's going to be a beautiful process. Outstanding. Let's see. $1,000 a month? Sure. I mean, whatever you want. Look, if you put $1,000 into Bolo Vendor and you get $1,500 back or $1,200 back or $1,700 back a month later or 45 days later, where could you put your money that's any better than that? So I think you need to just figure out what you want to do. But if you're putting that kind of money into Bolo Vendor, you definitely want to be with us in Las Vegas. You definitely want to be at the ASD trade show, and you definitely want to be buying your own wholesale inventory as well. It doesn't have to be one or the other. It can be a combination of both. So that's a great question. Thank you. I want to just do a quick shout out, by the way, to all of our newest Internet Mastery community members. And I just want all of our basic members to know that from day one, when you came to the event, I'm so glad you're here, by the way, but from day one, I talked with you about the importance of coaching and mentoring and having that one-on-one support with the unlimited prep services for that period of time. So whenever you're ready, whenever you're feeling like it's necessary, schedule a time and upgrade and add that to your business, because one-on-one DMs to Corinne are not part of that plan. Just so you know, that's called one-on-one coaching. And that plan doesn't have one-on-one support. So Corinne is here to help us with our Facebook group, but she's not here for one-on-one DMs all the time for someone that doesn't have coaching as part of their plan. So we want to be here for you. You want to watch all 5 of the group coaching sessions every week. Watch the videos in the e-library and subscribe to the newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter so that once a week, when the newsletter gets sent out to you, you get the latest insight. This last newsletter that came out yesterday was packed. If you missed it, packed with insights, information, updates, training, the most current news on Amazon, a really, really powerful topic about feedback in your Amazon account. That's important for your performance history. So doesn't cost anything to join the newsletter. If you join the premium newsletter, I think I don't know what it is. It's $40 a year or something, and you get extra content. So if you want to do that, do it. It's not a big deal. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Whatever you want to do, but get into the newsletter, okay? Outstanding. Any other questions that I can answer for you? Any questions about the repricer? Any questions about BOLO deals? Any questions about shipping? I want to thank all of our Internet Mastery community who have helped the Prep Center this week with their Prep Center admin fees. We appreciate you very, very much. We don't want you to pay them, but we appreciate you paying them on time. Send your items in with a plan, and you won't have to worry about that. Okay, yeah, that was a little bit of sarcasm, but just sometimes it's necessary, isn't it? I've been told that I'm much nicer in person, by the way, but I don't know if that's true. I feel like I'm nice now as well. Let's see. Next question. So I think I answered that question. I answered that question. And yeah, $39 a year. So I was off by $1. Sorry. I think I said 40. Or you could just pay monthly, right? $3.99 a month. Woo! That's a big one. We've never offered a $4 a month program before, but like 10, I think about 10%. We've had like about 20 or 30 people get maybe it's less than 10%, but 20 or 30 people. It's like, it is what it is. I mean, it's just an opportunity to provide extra info to people who want to pay to get more info, right? So it is part of the deal. Excellent. All right. Any other questions? I feel like I'm pulling you for questions. I will always say this to you every Friday. We get such random questions all week long that I hope to get those questions posed to me as opposed to just posted in the Facebook group. I've really tried to stay away from and out of the Facebook group as much as possible and leave that up to the amazing team that does that. Sometimes I need to chime in and give my feedback, right? Give my input. All right, so it doesn't look like there's any other questions. I've been trying here. How about this? I'll give you 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes. You got a question for me? Any questions? No questions? What if we had a giveaway in Las Vegas where we gave away a $10,000 prize? I don't think that would motivate any more people to buy a ticket, because here's why. The people that already bought a ticket would say, it's probably going to be me that wins. But the people that don't buy a ticket would say, well, why would I buy a ticket? Because I never win anything anyway. Aren't your chances the same? It's just the way life is, right? All right, let's see. Does the AI writer work in Canada? Yes and no. I mean, I'm not sure I understand what the difference is with the AI writer. You take an ASIN. Every item that has an ASIN in Canada has an ASIN in the US. Does the ASINs from Canada work? I don't know. You can try it. I have no idea. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it's never going to work. But it doesn't really matter, because you take the ASIN from the US side and it writes you a listing. It will not sync with eBay Canada at any time in our lifetimes. So that is going to be a hard no. However, a majority of the items that we have selling in Canada will have the same ASIN or a similar ASIN. Find something and do it that way. All right, let's see. So if I have 5,000, I don't know if this is the same person or not, but let's see. If I have a question, if I have 5,000 to start and 1,000 a month to invest, what is the realistic 12-month goal to aim for? I can't tell you that. That's the one thing that I can't make any income claims or promises. So much of it is not dependent on money. It's dependent on the person. I'll give you an example. A person who comes to all of the events in person will make more money than someone who does not, no matter how much money they have. A person who is a pro will make more money than someone who's an elite. An elite will make more money than someone who is a basic. And it isn't because of how much money you have or how smart you are or how much work you do. It has to do, number one, with the more you invest, the more convicted you are in the business. Number two, the more mentors you have, mentor sessions, and the more unlimited prep you have, the less you'll think about paying for prep credits when you send your items to Amazon. It was very interesting. The people that I interviewed in Miami that were at $1 million, $5 million, $10 million, they'd all invested like $25,000 and more into their business across the board. The more you invest, the bigger your business will grow. But you need to invest what's best for you. So I just don't want to think anyone that, look, we have people that started with $700 that have sold $250,000 on Amazon. So how much money you make in the next 12 months isn't really dependent solely on how much money you're willing to invest. The reality is, in this question, if I have $1,000 a month to invest when you start, how much are you investing in 3 and 4 and 5 months from now, right? If you're taking the money out or you're reinvesting the money, there's so many different ways to answer that. And I love the question, and I'm sorry that I can't give you a specific, but that's as close as I can get. What I do know is that we have people who start with us who sell $50,000 in their first year, $100,000 in their first year, $250,000 in their first year, and $700,000 in their first year. Real people with different results based on their time, based on what they apply, and all of that. So, sorry, that's not the specific answer to your question. However, that's as best as I can get. Next question. Let's see. I can't wait for the AI event in May. There is no AI event in May that's on the books right now. We might add one. We'll see. We've got one in March, and then we're going to be together in August. I don't know whether we're going to do one in May or not. There's a possibility we will, but I've not gotten that far in my calendar yet. Let's see. Next question. So when you subscribe to the AI tools, there are 4 different tools, right? Each one of them is $99 a month. So if you subscribe to one, it's $99. It doesn't matter which one. When you subscribe to all 4, you save 50%. So it's $199 for all 4. When you subscribe to any one of the AI tools, you receive 50 credits for each tool. Now, the credit value is different based on the tool you're using, but you get 50 credits for each of the 4 tools, which is a total of 200 total credits. Now, when we first launched the system, the first 2 or 3, 4 days, it was not putting in the correct number of credits. So we've gone in and manually changed the number of credits. If you did not see a change or an update, all you have to do is send an email to support, and that'll get sorted for you over the weekend. Okay? So if you signed up but didn't get a 50 for one, or you didn't get 50, 50, 50 for all 4, just send an email to support, and they'll take care of it for you. Okay? So let's see. Does the wholesale analyzer come with the Pro plan? It does, without a subscription. So when you upgrade to when you're an elite member or a basic member and you want to use the wholesale analyzer tool, it's a $199 a month subscription. When you're a pro member, it's included in that plan. So there's no $199 a month. In addition to the pro, when you upgrade to pro, you get 3 main benefits. Number 1, you get 10 additional mentor sessions. Number 2, you get 9 additional months of unlimited prep credits. And number 3, you get wholesale analyzer without a subscription. Okay, so thank you for asking. Will you pay $199? So yes, so the AI tools, there's a button that says subscribe to all 4. So if you go to one where it says $99, right below it, it says subscribe to all 4. There's a separate button. So you subscribe to all 4, and it's $199 instead of $99, $99, $99, and $99. Okay, so good question. Yeah, it's best to subscribe to all four. Why not? You save 50% and you will use all the tools at some point anyway. There's a lot of advancements coming on the AI side. I mean, a lot. So wait until August, by the way. I know, where are we in? Not in August yet, but we're a while away. We're already working on testing and developing what we're going to be releasing in August. That's all I got. I'm not telling you any more than that right now, but it's going to be extraordinary. All right. So it sounds to me like we did it. We got all the questions out of the way. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all next week. And watch Bolo episode 15 if you haven't done it, and get your ticket for InternetMastery.live in August. All right, everyone. Take care. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.